Mhm. Wow, every single one. Nice. There you go. Nice, yeah. I didn't do a whole lot today. It was sort of just a rest day, but I had some oh, he joined. Oh, he spammed caps. Yeah, let me see here. How's it going there, Taz? Welcome to the chat. It's good to see you. Or here. Oh, is he not able to hear us? Oh. Is there like music playing or anything? Just until it starts, maybe. What I was thinking. How do I access? Am I able to access Notebot? Oh, edit mod view. No. What dark. Just me or just him? I guess that'll determine. Oh yeah, here. Bot here. Mm, that's pretty strange. I don't know why that would be. Just give us a moment here. We're still trying to figure it out. I don't know why it's not working. The Nightbot app. Not sure how to access it. Yeah, I think that you have to do it. Can you hear him talking now, Taz? You should talk. See if he can hear you. Unless you're waiting.
What?
Because it's weird, because that's just like a stable of like three guys, and WCW is a whole brand.
Yeah. I mean, well, we'll have to find out at some other time because it's gonna start playing WrestleMania intros.
Indeed, don't want to get sued by WWE. That would not be good.
There you go. Well, welcome. It is I, UngoCast, and I'm here with KevJohn96, formerly known as Biggie Boy One. Um, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing there, Chris?
I am doing quite well. Dog is hopefully not causing a ruckus. Um, which she shouldn't. But you never know. She's 4 months now. But uh, today we're gonna be exploring some new concepts, piggybacking off of what we were doing in last week's episode. Though we wanted to revisit uh the SCP-5000. So I'll be honest, I haven't looked into it past a little bit from last week. And if you want to take it away, Kevin, I'll just go ahead and say welcome, everyone. And so we'll just recap, I guess, with talking about SCP-5000. So as far as I remember, Kevin, it is a device. It's a suit
Right.
that gives you it. I mean, in the very top description, it says absolute exclusion harness, designed by the SCP Foundation. So it's, as far as I remember, it's some like anti mimetic, anti psionic
Yeah, yeah, I think it was
suit.
essentially just like a suit that was utilized to keep the wearer safe from potential other sources of infection or like other SCPs. I think it was just a means to keep them protected. But now it's
Yeah.
relegated to simply being capable of file storage. Um, doesn't really provide those other benefits any longer as a
Yeah,
result.
let me add you to the other pages.
Not a big deal. No, we actually just started. We're uh, recapitulating regarding SCP-5000 from last week. I'm sure you recall. Maybe you don't, but if you do, good. If not, that's okay too.
Um, and I don't know if you want to take away some of these journal entries while I tweak everything, but I'm interested in hearing some of the backstory to this because
Sure,
it's
yeah. Well,
very
I guess
popular.
we'll hop right into, Archive 5000-1 here. First journal entry. My name is Pietro Wilson. I don't know what's happening. I think I might be the only one left. The date is 02/01/2020. Sorry, that transcription is tricky. So I'm not used to this yet. The date is 02/01/2020. I've just I've just escaped from exclusionary site '06. I think I'm not certain, but I think everyone else is dead. Those guys, they were thorough. If I hadn't got to the suit, I'd be oh god.
So to answer your question, Taz, we did look into it a little bit, but we're just gonna go ahead and read into it for our initial kind of intro. We had some other topics that we wanted to segue though into later on, where we're trying to. The title's Mind Freak, so we're trying to go with some uh ex declassified stuff back in the '60s from the CIA with MK Ultra and the idea of, I guess, mind control and that sort of thing. But we have some other things on the topic list we want to talk about as well. But to kind of recap, we'll read into a lot of these journal entries for 5,000 because it is very interesting and very highly regarded. So go ahead.
Yeah, so on to entry 2. I need to get myself together. This thing isn't going to be legible at all. Most likely they're going to want some kind of record of this whole incident for posterity. I'm currently on my way to the nearest Foundation installation, a small safe house for agents making their way through this part of the country. Most likely there won't be anyone there, but I should be able to get into contact with my superiors and find out exactly what's going on. Things started around 6, maybe 7 hours ago. A group identifying themselves as Mobile Task Force Zeta-19, quote, lonely only, insurgent infiltrators maybe, entered the site. They had proper identification and everything and gathered everyone into the canteen. Then they started the shooting. Jesus, I can still taste the blood. I can't get that awful metal taste off my tongue. It's a miracle I didn't get hit or trampled on, the way people were climbing over each other to get out of there. If I hadn't gotten to the exclusion harness, I'd be dead. No doubt about it. Like I said, they were thorough. I'm a te- sorry. I'm a technician for the power grid on ESO6, so I don't fully get how this thing works, but I understand the basics. This perception filter thing doesn't mean people can't see me, but it does mean they can't recognize the fact that they can see me, which I guess is the same thing when you get down to it. But those infiltrators, they didn't even take anything, didn't even try to. I watched after I got into this thing. I was too scared, fucking coward, to make a run for it. They just checked the bodies and left, an extra fucking bullet for every head. They were just there to kill us.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. Go on.
So, journal entry 3. Finally made it to the safe house after hours and hours of trudging through this goddamn desert. Heard a few explosions in the distance. Maybe the Foundation sent an MTF to engage those infiltrators before they got away? Hope so. Never been happier to see bottled water in my life. The harness sustains your body while you're wearing it, apparently, but my mind still thinks I should be drinking. Human nature, I guess. Anyway, once I get these legs of mine rested, I'm going to try and get these systems online. I need to get in touch with the Foundation and find out what exactly is going on. Entry 4. Holy shit.
All right. Okay. They sent this to every government, news organization, and anomalous agency on the planet. Fuck me. Context. Downloaded file 0001-1. The following is a message composed via consensus of the O5 Council. For those who are not currently aware of our existence, we represent the organization known as the SCP Foundation. Our previous mission centered around the containment and study of anomalous objects, entities, and other assorted phenomena. This mission was the focus of our organization for more than 100 years. Due to circumstances outside of our control, this directive has now changed. Our new mission will be the extermination of the human race. There will be no further communication. So, this was sent to
God.
every government, news organization, and anomalous agency on the planet. Immediately following the release of their worldwide announcement, the Foundation began their assault on mankind. Composed file 0001-1. The response to the anomalies the Foundation let loose was as quick as it could have been, but the damage is being done. It's hard to tell what exactly is going on, but from my position here, accessing the Foundation network and keeping track of the news, I've managed to grasp a little. I'm going to get everything I know down, so that when this is over, if anyone's still alive, they'll know what happened to us. Relevant anomaly SCP-096. Action taken by the Foundation. Images of SCP-096's face circulated on social media platforms. Death toll had already reached hundreds before the images were taken down. For all I know, this thing is still going. SCP-169. A series of nuclear charges are detonated within and along SCP-169's back, causing it to stir in its sleep slightly. The resultant earthquakes and tsunamis devastate a significant number of coastal settlements around the world.
Jesus.
SCP-662. Over the course of 24 hours, an individual whose appearance matches that of Mr. Deed's appearance appears in the vicinity of several major heads of state and assassinates them using whatever tools are immediately available, disappearing just as quickly. I don't know why this stopped after the first day. SCP-610. Samples of SCP-610 are dispersed and by embedded Foundation agents within many major cities, including New York and Delhi. All civilians in the area, along with the agents themselves, are quickly infected and succumb to SCP-610. Further spread of SCP-610 is halted by the combined efforts of the Global Occult Coalition and the Church of the Broken God. SCP-682 released. I don't understand why this is happening. SCP-096, a humanoid creature, little muscle mass, okay, jaw 4 times open. Is this
Yeah, I think
Shy Guy?
610 is one of the creepiest ones. It's
Uh,
definitely more disturbing than a Shy Guy.
Marine arthropod, Leviathan.
I wish it
Huh.
looked like a Shy Guy, not a horrifying
Yeah.
nightmare creature.
662, small silver handbell. Forever mine, SJW. Okay. Oh, you ring it, and you can have Mr. Deeds do whatever. Okay. And 610, you said this is the one that's
That one's
fun to use?
that one is like, I mean, I didn't really look into it
Okay.
too much,
So,
but 169
spread.
is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Some area infected, contagious skin disease. Life function ceases, in which they will restart 2 to 3 times the activity rate of a normal human. Okay. Oh. Huh.
So you just
Jesus.
aren't human anymore once you get infected by it, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, and 682. Okay. The indestructible lizard. So, downloaded file 001 or 0001 0001, yeah, -2. Context news footage I managed to download between drinking sessions. Begin log. Reporter Maria Henderson is speaking from inside a GOC evacuation tent. Scrolling header indicates that she is speaking the outskirts of Krosa, Sweden. Weird. Behind her, patients can be seen being treated by doctors in full protective gear. Maria herself is wearing a surgical mask, pulled up slightly to allow her to speak into the microphone, which kind of defeats the purpose if you ask me. Lol, that's kind of funny. Maria Henderson, repeating what has previously been put out by the Global Occult Coalition, residents that have not already evacuated are advised to seal themselves inside their homes as quickly as possible using whatever materials are available. One of the doctors attending a patient stands up with urgency, looking over to a soldier standing over the beds. We've got expiration. Get the eraser ready. Maria Henderson quickly begins moving out of the tent, out into a field filled with similar installations. A loud buzzing sound can be heard from the tent behind her, and several flashing lights can be seen. Thick smoke pours out of a gap in the top of the tent. Any individuals still in a compromised area are advised to keep careful watch over those around them. If any friends or family begin exuding a noticeable minty smell, they are to be quarantined immediately. Feed cuts out. I later found out this is when television stopped everywhere. Internet too. World gone blind in a few seconds.
Weird.
Alright, journal entry number 0001-5. It's funny. With the supplies in this place, not to mention the exclusion harness, I could probably survive years right here. But the idea of being sat here with no idea what's going on in the outside world is unbearable. Still, I'm not sure whether I could really want to know what's happening out there either. When I was a kid, real sick all the time, not able to go out that much, I was really into detective stories, Sherlock Holmes and all that shit. I always wanted to figure things out. Anyway, my dad had this row of plant pots on the wall outside the house, and they were always getting knocked over, but he could never figure out what was doing it. That's that was pretty much at my peak of detective obsession, so I was on the case like nothing else. I was a stupid shit, so I couldn't actually deduce anything, you understand? So I ended up buying this cheap spy camera and recording the wall overnight. It was a stray cat. My dad ended up kicking it to death, like I should have known he would. Curiosity, well, you know the saying.
Killed the
Everyone
cat.
involved. Yes, that's what they say. Everyone involved would have been better off if I'd mind my own business, except my dad. But fuck him. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I'd rather be doing something than nothing. Besides, if I have the exclusion harness, nothing that would want to hurt me will ever know I'm there. I'm a tourist at the end of the world. Destination, Site 19, closest real Foundation installation. Only makes sense. I'm getting some answers. Alright, you want to take this one away, Kevin?
Sure. Recorded file 0001-1. Context. Encounter with Foundation elements a few days after leaving my shelter. Watching weird behavior. Begin log. Viewing a group of Foundation soldiers in a clearing from a distance. 9 in total stood in a line. A 10th soldier, the commander, is silently pacing back and forth in front of them. Uniforms and insignia look like those of MTF Epsilon-6, known as the Village Idiots. After a few seconds, the commander claps her hands once and steps towards the line. Commander, performing the check now. Course. Get that wound treated. The soldier nods. The commander proceeds to stab each soldier in the line in the same way with no reaction from any of the victims until the 8th, who noticeably winces. Ah! Got a live one! The commander and all the other soldiers quickly aim their guns and fire upon soldier number 8, killing him. He drops to the ground. The commander then moves to the 9th soldier and stabs him in the shoulder. No visible reaction. Alright, we're clear. Move out. MTF Epsilon-6 packs up their supplies and leaves the area, leaving the corpse of the dead soldier where it is. Managed to retrieve weaponry and basic medical supplies from the body. Bury it as well as I can afterwards. End log. Closing notes. No fucking clue. Alright.
Alrighty. Go ahead.
Recorded file 001-2. Sorry, 0001-2. Weird
Alright.
context. Weird transmission I caught on an old radio. Don't know if it's important, but trying to get everything down for posterity. Begin log. Audio only. Voices male around my age, I'd guess. 7. 5. Can you hear me? There's a hole shining in the holes between your eyelids. I've never been to Versailles before. I want to be loved. 9. I'm standing behind you now. 5. I am two of us, standing behind you now. The goddess eats the city and the sea. 9. There's a hole in the floor with an answer waiting in it. 7. Look, you're hatching. You're hatching! Message continues on loop. End log. I should stop once I turned the radio over and saw that it was damaged beyond repair. Am I feeling okay? Would
Oh,
you like
wow.
to continue with the next journal entry?
Sure, journal entry 0001-6. When I thought of Site 19 as being relatively close by, I never really took into account that was probably with a vehicle in mind. Can't risk cars or anything like that. Even if I went unnoticed, the vehicle wouldn't. All it takes is one Foundation soldier or wandering anomaly to spot it, and I'm as good as dead. But still, marching through the woods, even with the harness's protection, isn't the most pleasant experience. It'd be hard to move out of the way if anything came traipsing through, for one.
Mm.
Just because things can't notice me doesn't mean they can't run me down. Gives me time to think, though. Like, why the hell am I even going to Site 19? What do I hope to accomplish? If I wanted to stay out of danger, survive as long as possible, I'd be suited getting as far away from any Foundation personnel as possible, not jumping right into the Viper's nest. Answers, I guess, more than anything. I want answers, even if I get kicked to death afterwards.
Oh.
Composed file 0001-2. Oh wow, okay, yeah, this one's actually really long.
Welcome to the chat, by the way, new people. It seems like we might have a couple new faces.
There you go. Yeah, we're looking at SCPs, in particular this one, SCP-5000, um, anomalies, not real, I don't know what else. But, yeah, I'm not sure for how much longer we want to look into this in particular. I just wanted to kind of get a better idea of how this one's put together. So essentially, this one's not so much about the SCP itself. It's definitely about
The things that
mm,
happened,
that happened around it
yeah,
with
while it
this
was
guy
being
that's
replayed.
wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is interesting because it allows you to. It essentially makes you invisible, but you still exist. And um, I actually there's an anime in Hunter x Hunter. There's someone who can do that. I'm not going to spoil it because you haven't seen it yet, Kevin.
Right,
So
yes, yes. It's a good show.
that's a character that has a very similar power in essence, where it's not so much you're invisible, you're just going unnoticed by everything around, and uh, um, yeah. So that's essentially what this suit provides the wearer, and he kind of let the words slip out to the world about it, the SCP Foundation itself, and so it's going into all the things he's experienced with other SCPs and things all interlaced together, which is really cool, and that is definitely worth looking into. But I kind of want to know more about the SCP itself. That's what I like about the SCPs. But
Yeah, it doesn't
um,
talk too much about it beyond that small description, unfortunately.
yeah, so I mean, no, it's definitely cool, but this is more kind of like fan fiction in the sense that it's definitely this guy. I don't care about this guy. I care about the SCP. TBH. um, but that's what I like about SCPs personally. But what this apparel does give you is the ability to block out any sort of, in SCP lingo, it's mimetic effects, but in general, any sort of um, psionic energy, psychics, and that sort of thing. And so I thought it would be kind of interesting to uh, move into the idea of MK. Why am I doing the accent still? The idea of MK Ultra, which is where, let's see, the idea of there being the ability to control one's mind. And Kevin here's got a great Bible verse to tie it back to the title of this podcast, the Burning Bush Podcast. We both grew up going to Christian schools, so we were raised in a. Well, I wasn't raised, you were, but I went to Christian school, so I learned a lot about the Bible, and I thought it would be interesting to to relate to certain things in that, not in a religious way, but in the sense of just how the stories of the Bible, at least I learned, are very interesting. I don't know. It's not serious and it's also not trying to be offensive, but I think that you know, Kevin, you got a great Bible verse to tell us all.
Yeah, I'm trying to find one that uh really connects to this.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean Colossians 3:2. Set your minds on things that are not above, not on things that are on earth. And I guess the idea of being able to control minds or to block out people's thoughts or to read people's thoughts or uh, suggestion, for example, being able to get people to do things. Um, you have to kind of look into the real world application of that now, which
yes.
I think would be a cool thing to look into because I always like to bring it back to reality because that's the world we live in, and of course it's always surreal to experience it in real life that there's things like this that have been attempted at least.
Yeah,
And so,
seriously.
what is MK Ultra? Project MK Ultra. It was a CIA program back in the 60s, 50s, and 60s. Apparently sanctioned in 53 and officially curtailed in uh, further curtailed in 67, but officially halted in 73. Um, in which various activities were used on US and Canadian citizens to attempt to manipulate mental states and brain functions. I'm, of course, reading some of this off, but the idea was that you could give them acid, you could do electroshock therapy, you could lock them in rooms playing certain music or something like that, and you could get people to tell you the truth, do what you want them to, or, you know, have them give their thoughts, not
Yeah.
read your mind, but yeah, go
And
ahead.
yeah, and beyond that, I mean, outside of those, obviously, like strategies that were utilized, utilizing drugs, utilizing putting people into dangerous, unnatural settings just to see sort of how they'd react. They also did things that are literally straight up considered torture in the modern era. Things that literally are illegal that could possibly not be, or could not possibly be permitted in this current moment. You know, and a lot of this was sort of to try to get people to be against communism, be against the Soviet Union, so to try to control the way that people were thinking and allow them to also identify and determine if there were communists that were hiding and spying within the U.S. itself, um, you know, as well as a means to do the opposite and send American spies to the Soviet Union. So it's just like it was a very secretive, very like strange sort of thing that went on that was literally perpetrated by the government, by a government agency. Um, so it really shows you, I don't know, just how far the reach of some of this stuff is in the real world, even if we don't necessarily realize.
Yeah, the fact that it was attempted and, branching out to even some of the more far-fetched concepts, which probably didn't happen in a significant degree, but the idea that they were training super soldiers to read people's minds and that sort of thing. There's the movie Men Who Stare at Goats, which is loosely based off of the whole MK Ultra thing, and it follows a Jedi, as they're called, that are the special CIA agents that are able to predict things. They're clairvoyants. Like the main characters, it's Ewan McGregor is a war photographer, and George Clooney is the Jedi, and he's able to. I forget what his record is, but he can predict 5,000 coin flips with 100% accuracy until his record or whatever it was. But the idea that the scale of this was spent on, I forget what it said. It was like 87.5 million adjusted for inflation. So not that much actually. There's like multiple billion-dollar programs that the CIA funds. For example, the SpaceX launch with the Falcon rocket that happened. Was that this year? There was one this year, right? There was earlier this year or last year. Anyways, there's a CIA black file that was attached to that launch is now orbiting the Earth, and
Mm,
um, that's a multi-billion-dollar black file, as they're called in the CIA terminology. And this one's only 87 adjusted for inflation, so that's in the grand scheme of things. Even back then, adjusted for inflation, 87.5 millions for a government, it's not that bad. But the acronym itself, which I've never actually looked up what it means, but secret classification of World War II intelligence was known as Ultra, and MK was sponsored by the Technical Services Staff. That's what the MK. Oh, it's a diagraph of MK. Okay, interesting.
mm,
And so one of the main things they did was they experimented with LSD in Operation Midnight Climax. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. So they bought a bought out a brothel in San Francisco, put in tinted windows, and had CIA researchers watch while uh, prostitutes um, gave their clients LSD and then had them do certain things or ask them certain questions, and it's like you would just kick back in your lounge chair as you're looking through this one way glass and pour out your martini, and you just watch two people go at it and give the the girl in the brothel will give the guy a LSD and slip it, and watch him trip balls. And the prostitutes at the brothel were in on it, and so that was one of the things in which they were trying to investigate the idea of using LSD as a truth serum, and they called it Operation Midnight Climax because um, code names have their own sense of humor.
double
Uh,
entendres.
yeah, it was definitely not legal, but well, it was. It's like saying back in the day they didn't know what LSD did. They didn't know its effects in its entirety, so essentially they were like, well, this is no different than putting salt in people's drinks. We don't know. It could
Yeah,
be
you
like the new caffeine,
gotta
and
experiment to figure out what the effects would be.
and it is completely illegal, but they did it anyways because it's the CIA, and the CIA. I mean, hot take. It's probably less corrupt than certain other branches of the government. I would say it is, at least. I'm trying to work for the CIA, anyways. But the idea of them doing it for some nefarious reason, I don't know. I mean, that was totally illegal. I'll keep on saying that, but I don't not dig that this exists in our history. It's not something I would condone now, but
Something crazy to consider that happened.
it's it were different times, and that was acceptable at the time for the CIA, and CIA probably doesn't do that now. But who
Other
knows? They
forms
probably
of
have a new name
torture.
for it. Um, Invitation of Stanford psychology graduate student Vic Lovell, blah blah blah. They also studied psilocybin, which is magic mushrooms, mescaline, cocaine, AMT, and DMT on people. So they were just drugging a bunch of people with all these Schedule
Heroin.
1 drugs. Yeah.
Oh,
And so they used LSD in interrogations. One of the doctors had other ideas. It could be used in covert operations. Oh gosh, give it to high-ranking officials to affect the course of important meeting speeches, etc. Wow. And they tested it. They tested it on people in normal settings without warning. That's somehow okay. That's definitely worse than people that are going to a brothel. But What happened? Okay. Adverse reactions often occurred, such as operative who received the drug in his morning coffee became psychotic and ran across Washington, seeing a monster in every car passing him.
Bad.
God, that's gnarly. Experiments continued even after Dr. Frank Olson was covertly dosed by a CIA supervisor. 9 days later, plunged to his death from the window of a 13th-story New York City hotel room. Deep depression induced by the drug. Wow. That was a doctor too. Olson, according to Stephen Kinzer. Huh.
Well,
Okay. Other drugs, hypnosis. They studied hypnosis, in which experimental goals included the creation of hypnotically induced anxieties, hypnotically increasing ability to learn and recall complex written matter, hypnotically increasing ability to observe and recall complex arrangements of physical objects, and studying relationship of personality to susceptibility to hypnosis. They conducted experiments with drug-induced hypnosis and with anterograde and retrograde amnesia while under the influence of such drugs. Wow. And the Canadians.
mind control.
Mind control. So, uh, given that sort of background, how do you see, Kevin, this going further, or do you think that it's completely dead?
Well, I mean, I would say, obviously none of this stuff is gonna be on the surface, even if it was going on. It's gonna be very covert, very hidden away, very classified. Nobody's gonna know about it, probably except for the small group that's actually engaging in it. And maybe like people above them, obviously. But I don't really think that it would really impact us unless we. I mean, I don't specifically know if MK Ultra was something that you know they just sort of decided who was going to be part of it, or if people volunteered for it, not really knowing what it was. Uh, but if in the modern
Definitely
era,
sounds like they did not know they were being drugged.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't even know if people knew like anything about it. Like, if obviously probably not the part of being drugged, but I mean, like, if they had any
They
idea what
drugged their own
it
agents,
was going to be.
so
Yeah,
I mean, if CIA personnel were getting drugged, it was probably a very closed
yeah.
group,
No,
very
definitely. So I'd say
black
even
box.
in the modern era, it's probably even more so. Um, you know, just with I don't know. Just I feel like any possibility of anything getting out about something like this in the modern era, it would just cause calamity, and society would be up in arms over it. I feel like, um, but at the same time, how would just like we were talking about SCPs, if this was in real life, and the Foundation existed, how would we know? Like, if this sort of thing was repeated or anything similar to it, or even anything worse, how would we know? They'd go through every effort to make sure that we didn't.
So, are you aware of Elon Musk's new enterprise with Neuralink, Kevin?
Think you've mentioned it previously in our private conversations, but I don't know if I
Yeah,
have looked
okay,
into it.
so Neuralink is a nano machine technology that Elon Musk is funding, in which initially it's supposed to be able to uh, work as a miniature kind of processor that goes and implants into your brain and will be able to affix or fix certain brain injuries or diseases that people get. But the initial stage they're working at right now is treating people with Alzheimer's or epilepsy, very, I guess, in the neurological sense, basic things. But eventually, he's quoted on saying this, that you will be able to understand people's intentions in their speech if both of you have them implanted. And he says within the next 10 to 15 years they'll be working on the functioning versions of those implants. But for now, like I said, he's working on severe brain injuries and diseases like
Yeah,
epilepsy
apparently
or
they were set to
seizures.
start experiments with the electrodes this year, but I don't know. obviously.
Now, so being able to understand people's thoughts without any sort of, let's say, jumping to conclusions or assuming, how do you feel that would, I guess, relating it to the idea of MK Ultra and the idea of thought control and whatnot? How do you see that turning out? Do you think that that'll benefit us with the idea that we'll all essentially be able to read people's minds?
I mean, I feel like to an extent this probably won't necessarily be like a cheap thing. I don't think it'll necessarily be like significantly accessible, especially when it first comes out as like a consumer available item. But I do think that it's something that could be helpful, for scientific purposes, allowing us to just understand the mind a little bit more deeply beyond just a physical level, actually understanding, the inner workings of people's brains and consciousnesses and such potentially. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I obviously Elon Musk and his company and different enterprises and you know it advances that he's come forth with in recent years, obviously, they have a pretty good reputation, pretty reputable, very well respected and regarded globally. So I mean, I'd think that hopefully this would be a technology that would only be used for, you know, beneficial purposes and, eventually down the road to help people through the issues that they deal with. But, at the same time, obviously, there's a possibility that this technology could potentially be utilized or by or gotten into the hands of somebody with nefarious or ulterior motives, and these things could potentially be reworked, MacGyvered, if you will, into a different sort of tool that could be used to, do something even more impactful or, violent potentially than MK Ultra
Oh,
was.
sure. I feel like if anything, that's the direction that the next program for the CIA would be. I was reading at the end there are a lot of justices that were dissenting against the fact that that was done, saying that we should have learned from the Nuremberg trials
Mm,
that we should never test on unassuming people and without knowing the effects.
yeah,
And
definitely.
uh and yeah, no, I think that's probably the direction. It's, if anything, they're following that technology as well, and that'll be what we'll use. I mean, it's kind of like, also, gosh, Minority Report movie with, was that Keanu Reeves, in which, crime is no longer a thing because people can predict every single crime that's going to happen and stop the person before they even commit the crime. And although it seems like it's some sort of, perfect system, I don't know. You know, I'm super pro technology, so I don't really care, but there's definitely a lot of people that would be against that sort of thing. And that sort of thing, Kevin, do you think psychic abilities exist in real life?
I mean, I guess specifically in regards to psychic abilities, I don't know. I've seen a lot of just like very
Whether
questionable,
it's
sort of unexplainable occurrences. I can't specifically say that I've personally witnessed something, like in my daily experience that was just like, okay, that happened, but I don't understand how, or you understood something, you perceived something about me, just because I haven't personally taken the step there. But I mean, I don't know, there's definitely some things that some people can do that just seem really unbelievable, really inhuman, if you will. But at the same time, I don't tend to believe that it's something that can really be like harnessed to like a significant degree, like what you might see in like popular media, like in a movie or a TV show or a video game.
so do you think that, if this presidential predictor guy is able to correctly predict this election along since with the other ones since 1984, he has a extra sensory perception?
You know, it's really hard to say. Obviously, this is I mean, it's really hard to say. Like, how can anybody really tell him not, or that he isn't, somehow accessing some sort of ability that other people don't have, not saying I necessarily believe this, but like speculating, who's to say that this person doesn't somehow have some sort of extension deep within him that just allows him to understand and perceive things that we wouldn't be able to otherwise, you know um, I don't know. It's an interesting sort of thing to consider.
Seeing is believing, Kevin.
It is.
And with psychics, feeling is believing. Do you feel, Kevin?
Do I feel what? Just in general?
Yeah, in general.
Yes, I would say I am. Um, I'm a feeling person. Yes, definitely. I mean that fits into my Myers-Briggs profile as an INFJ, if that matters. So yes, I would definitely say so.
Okay. Tess says psychic's abilities are bull. I also agree. However, I do
I
not.
definitely don't tend to subscribe to the idea that they are that prominent either. So I was just
um,
playing the devil's advocate.
yeah, we all are. But I'm not so much a skeptic uh, that I don't feel open to believing.
Yeah, I tend to try to just consider everybody's perspective or understanding in the world because I mean everybody comes from a different place, and you might as well give it an opportunity if nothing else.
As someone who graduated with a degree in human biology, I'm always a huge skeptic, and uh, I always look for empirical or evidence-based explanations rather than uh, emotional or faith-based, I guess. Um, but with certain things, sometimes you have to accept that as is.
Yes,
And I guess one of the cool things that has kind of surfaced through recent, I don't know if it'd be recent times, but it's been going on forever because the story has been told. And we've said this before, or maybe we haven't, but it's the idea that there are things out there that are currently changing, and there goes Kevin's feed, but
strange.
he's back. And it was never gone. You can rewind the tape and the feed was never gone. But that is what the Mandela effect is. And what is the Mandela effect? That's I think the important thing. I'm just gonna get this chat out of the way. It's not working
Well,
right
a
now.
very basic definition of Mandela effect, or I guess in psychological terms, false memory, is an instance where a phenomenon where a person recalls something that did not happen or recalls it differently from the way it actually happened. Suggestibility, activation of associated information, and the incorporation of misinformation and source misattribution have been suggested to be several mechanisms underlying a variety of types of false memory phenomena. And apparently, this can sometimes be associated with false memory syndrome. But typically, it's just, when we're talking more generally about the Mandela effect, it's definitely something that is more generally associated with like a larger group, like a specific population, had some sort of group false memory. But it
Do
seems
the
like,
Bears one, dude. That I think that's the best or the most understandable example.
yeah, let me see if I can find it. I'm sure it's on this page.
No, well, no, it's the Berenstain
Yeah. So essentially,
Bears.
if you grew up in, I don't know what the Berenstain Bears were originally, but essentially there was this, children's book series of Berenstain Bears, and it was sort of for kids that would teach them how to, I don't know, just understand life and understand these sort of just like approachable, enjoyable things. Uh, and essentially, a lot of people believe that it was pronounced the Berenstain Bears. Sorry, the Berenstain Bears, but as it turns out, it's actually spelled Berenstain Bears with an A, not an E. Um, yeah,
I thought it was Berenstein, but it's Berenstain.
yeah, isn't that odd? Uh,
Berenstein Bears. Berenstein. I mean, everyone calls it the Berenstein Bears. This one, it literally just has nothing there. It's just the Berenstein Bears. And
That's odd.
so the idea of the Mandela effect is that retcons exist. Everyone uh, remembers things that never were, or things that aren't and were, and we just don't know. This one's disgusting. The Flintstones are the Flintstones,
Indeed.
and that's disgusting. It's the Flintstones. I did I know that? I've always said the Flintstones, but it's the Flintstones.
Yeah, like Flint.
I understand, but it could be Flintstones. I don't know. You know what? Flintstones makes more
Apparently,
sense, but
another
also
common Mandela effect is the
let's look.
existence
Jif.
of Curious George's tail. He did not have one. He never did.
Curious George never had a tail. What?
Apparently not. He's a monkey without a
Okay.
tail.
That might be in this list, but
It
the
is.
Mandela effect is trippy AF because whether or not it's real, which we all can agree, me being the facts-based one, that it can't be, and even if it was, it doesn't matter because it never was. Um, the idea that we're getting the neuralizer from Men in Black and things are not what they were, and Jiffy never existed. It's always been Jif. No one said Jiffy peanut butter back in the day. People swear there is no Jiffy peanut butter. It's always been Jif. It's always been Jif. Looney Tunes? It's tunes, not tunes,
Yeah,
because they're not cartoons. They're crazy musicals. I don't know.
essentially. Yeah.
Okay. I I mean, I've always recognized that, but I've always thought it was spelled tunes for some reason. Like I know that looks right, but why would it be tunes? Oh god, no, the cursed Berenstein Bears. Jesus. Curious George's tail? Okay, well that obviously looks fake. I can make that tail.
That
He
looks
never
like
had a tail.
drawn in Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, sex. Okay, that one's lame. Febreze. You thought it was Febreze, didn't you?
I knew it only had one E.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oscar Mayer. Okay, that's dumb. Okay, these are all, some of these are stupid because it's like I thought Maya was spelled with an E. No. I mean Bologna is Blogna, so Skechers, dude. There was never a T. Some of these Fruit Loops. Okay, the fruit with the UI looks hella stupid. I mean, some of these are really dumb. Turkey leg. Monopoly Man and his monocle. He's never had a monocle. Mr.
Oh,
Peanut. Okay, I understand that one. Pikachu's tail. What's a female Pikachu look like? What's the gender difference on a Pikachu?
I'm not sure if
The
there is one.
the cheeks? There definitely is one. I think it's the tail shape. Like a heart shape or something. Kit Kat. Never had a hyphen in it. Jesus. It is essentially just mass misconception on how to spell. Fruit of the Loom. Okay, this one. What? So the ones with the actual images themselves are more believable. Like the idea that there was a cornucopia for Fruit of the Loom. That kind of trips me out. That's not the logo. Cheez Its. There was never a Z. No, these are horrible. This one's horrible. What website is this? We're
Good
done dying.
housekeeping.
Hashtag good housekeeping. I just remember the line from Step Brothers where it's like, what was your favorite non pornographic magazine to masturbate to as a child? Good housekeeping. What? What? Did we just become best friends? Yep. What do you want to do? Karate in the garage? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, or basement, whatever. No, Mandela effect. We need Mandela effect. Uh, can you find one that's not Good Housekeeping, Kevin? Why did I just pick on the first one? These are all the ads. There's MandelaEffect.com.
Okay, I
There you
have
go.
a list here.
Books. I want to buy. This is all Mandela effect, dude. Now I'm gonna start saying it when it's not.
Hmm.
Whoa, you ordered orange chicken? I got you KFC. Mandela effect. Snopes. Okay, Snopes. The glitch is in your memory, not the matrix. This is
Cap
becoming more
Captain Crunch
depressing.
or Cap'n Crunch?
Captain Crunch, right?
Not sure.
Captain Crunch. Yeah, it's freaking Captain
Yeah,
Crunch, dude.
that's what I thought.
Who
Is
the
it
heck's... I'm getting more pissed off with the Mandela effects. I thought it was cooler than it was. These are all hella dumb.
Chuck
Berenstein
E.
Bears, though.
Cheese or Chuck E. Cheeses?
Ford logo, Mandela effect. This one's pretty freaking nutty, too. The Ford logo. Which one's the real one? The top one or the bottom one?
What's the difference?
It has a little squiggly on the
Oh,
F.
I've never seen that squiggly before.
You've never seen that
I feel
squiggly
like
before?
I don't recognize that.
Is that... Has it...
Oh,
No, this...
I've never seen that before. I feel like.
It's always had the squiggle, dude.
Has it?
Since
That's weird.
1912, dude, it's had the squiggle.
I guess I never got close to my thing and really looked at it, even though I drive
Oh
it a
yeah,
lot.
look at your car and it's crazy.
Coke Zero or Coca-Cola Zero?
Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of which, I'll be right back. Take it over, Kevin.
Some more Mandela effects. Let's see. Is it O'Reilly's Auto Parts or is it O'Reilly Auto Parts? Let's see. Sorry, just a quick break there. I'll try to fill in the gap while Chris is grabbing what I assume would be a Coke Zero because he is a big fan of those. Let's see. Are there any that you like in particular, Taz? Any Mandela effects you've heard of that we might have not mentioned already? Or anybody else in the chat, if anybody else is here?
It says on the side Coke Zero, and then on the front, which this they changed a couple years ago, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. But it used to be Coke Zero, right? What are they saying?
Well, this is literally just a list of asking. I'm not sure. Coke Zero or Coca-Cola Zero?
But I do love Coke Zero. If Coca-Cola wants to sponsor me, I know I have stock investments in your Coca-Cola Consolidated, but if you want to sponsor me, and no one wants to pick up a sponsorship for or take a sponsorship for Coke Zero, I would gladly take the bullet. You know, there's a Reddit. Okay, Coke Zero Mandela effect. No, Coke paid researchers Reddit. Was it this one? No, but it was this one, I think. No, 76 upvotes. Anyways, there's a Reddit post the other day that got like 80,000. Oh, this one got 50,000 upvotes. Um, This was 1 year ago. Someone posted it recently and got like 70,000 upvotes. So that just kind of goes to show you how wonderful Reddit's algorithm is. We're all just robots, and on Reddit, literally, I just noticed. Well, I didn't just notice, but I realized that the logo for Reddit's a robot. Yeah, fuck Reddit. Um,
I think it's supposed to
but
be an alien technically, but go on.
yeah, you're right. Uh, someone posted the exact same thing about this like a couple days ago, and it got 70,000 upvotes. But essentially, sponsor me, Coke, because whoever keeps on posting this doesn't really understand that that's like saying, I don't know. I don't want to do something about politics, but it's like no shit they were paying researchers to not talk bad about the sugary nature of Coca-Cola. It's freaking Coca-Cola. No crap. And this is a year ago. And the study was not done like in 1982 where social media and whatnot was, or not even that, health in general was not a big thing. This was like done in 2014. So 4chan, definitely. I don't go on 4chan, but I would rather associate with 4chan any day. What about you, Kevin?
I definitely prefer Reddit. So, I mean, 4chan is just it's a cesspool of
Same thing
debauchery.
could be said about Reddit, though, except the opposite.
Yeah,
I
just
feel like
be
Reddit is
careful
a
what you're thinking
cesspool
of.
of people dicking each other in the butthole, not even like in a relation to sexuality, just the idea that everyone's kind of, they're all just like the seagulls in Finding Nemo, where they will just kind of bounce on the fact that it's like one person says opinion, we support opinion, any other opinion, wrong opinion. Whereas, what do you not like about 4chan? What's the debauchery about it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot of the content there is very often very offensive, and obviously it kind of tends to go unmoderated to an extent.
Oh, it's 100% offensive, but so are COD lobbies,
I mean, yeah,
and
that's true. I just
it's also
feel like it
freedom
doesn't
of
necessarily
speech.
contribute to my experience on the internet. I only
You're
go on
right.
there when I'm really bored.
There you
So,
go. I only go on Reddit when I'm really bored too, because usually if I need help with something, it's usually like, "Hey, I have this problem," and I'm like, "Me too.
yeah,
Thanks."
collaborative efforts are always more effective than going in by yourself.
So Coke, what does Coke taste like from a flavor sense? They've actually done the study on this. It tastes like uh cilantro lime with a little bit of cinnamon, and that's pretty much what
Yeah,
Coca-Cola
apparently
tastes
they
like.
had citrus oils as well and vanilla.
Excuse me. Um yeah, someone did a video on how to make it at home with natural ingredients or just from scratch, and uh of course you need soda water or uh whatever, carbonated water, but yeah, it was like cilantro, like what you just said right now, Kevin. But the idea that people are, this is, well, I guess this is more like why I don't like Reddit, is because it's like 50,000 upvotes a year ago and then 70,000 upvotes a couple of days ago, where it's like people just like feeling good about themselves on Reddit a lot. Not even in like a good way. And that's what I don't like.
Oh
Because
yeah,
it's like,
I mean,
of course, a sugar drink company is going to pay people off. It's like, why do you get mad at the arsonist when he starts a fire? But, I don't condone that, of course. Of course not. You don't condone people paying off researchers to not publish their data. Um, and that's pretty bad, but also not surprising. I guess the moral of the story is like I don't get why people are still surprised by this kind of stuff.
well, I mean, I don't even know if it's their surprise. I think it's just like, I
Bad,
found this
bad,
out. Now you know. Now everybody else knows, and now we're
bad.
apparently gonna
Our
to
petition
make
has
things a bigger
70,000
issue.
votes to cancel Coca-Cola. Let me see. Me saying that, let me see what the stock price for Coca-Cola did.
And Taz, I would say water doesn't really have like a taste unless, obviously something's added to it or it's tainted with some sort of substance.
Yeah, my water
But
the other day tasted like sour ass because we live on a well and it's natural source and we use a filter in our refrigerator to make it taste normal. It's basically just a tube of charcoal essentially. That's what all filters are. But when that thing's starting to run low and the refrigerator will tell you kind of like estimated percentage it has left in it, starts tasting sour. Like yeah, like a little bit of battery was dipped in it.
wait, Taz, know what?
And people are
I mean, yeah, I would say that the water I have in my bottle that's from a sink tap, it definitely has a bit of a not super clean taste. I wish it tasted better, but I definitely have a Brita filter in my
if
refrigerator,
you
but
want
I'm too lazy
the
to use it.
yeah, the biological answer is definitely it's the particles that are in the water that you taste because if you want to get literal with it, the taste buds are a various array of senses that your tongue can detect that are all chemical based. So by definition, water would technically have some taste, even if it was DDH2O, which is what I worked with when I was in a lab working on cholera. DDH2O is water that's been distilled twice. So it's like, I forget what the ratio was they told me, but it's like, imagine it's like 64 gallons makes 1 gallon of DDH2O in how pure it is. And I'm sure if I drank it, which I never did because I would have gotten kicked out of the lab and suspended, um, would probably have some taste to it. And you're right, it would have the taste of the cup or the even the beaker, which as static as beakers are glass, they still have a small dissociation constant that will allow them to dissolve in water or DDH2O. So your tongue basically like sour is your perception of how many hydrogen ions you are absorbing into your mouth, which is what acid is made of. Sweet is usually bound to glucose or any sugar or carbohydrate derivative molecule. Um, Umami is, I think, related to amino acids because, like, a lot of savory things have umami, meat, tomatoes, seaweed, and they're high in amino acids. Um, Salty is literally salt, your ability to bind to sodium chloride, and you'll taste salt because you have specific receptors, and these are all nerves that respond to chemicals that bind to it. Have you ever drank garden hose water, Kevin?
I don't think I necessarily like drank it. I think I've like maybe like splashed myself and like I don't or like a sip maybe if I was like dying,
I don't. I don't
but I
think
didn't drink it.
I forgot when, but they don't recommend doing that anymore because of where that water comes from.
Yeah, I mean that's probably like semi wastewater maybe. I'm
It's
not sure.
reclaimed water.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Usually at residential areas, it's not. But if it's, of course, any publicly funded place, it's that's not a water fountain or a dog fountain. It's gonna be reclaimed water usually, and they'll have like signs for it too. But I mean, I think they also not recommend doing it because it's not chlorinated. No, it's probably is chlorinated. I think all water is chlorinated now.
Yeah. Uh, so keep it going. I will be right back. I'm just gonna go to the restroom real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Uh, no amount of pure water will be as good as a garden hose. Yeah, I mean, gosh, last time I've done anything that was not watering something with a garden hose was filling water balloons when I was like half my age. Um, but yeah, I remember those days. Get a slip and slide, and then we realized that you can just put soapy water on it. Um, you make you go even faster. Yeah, all water is reclaimed, but some has shit in it, and you don't want to drink that. Um, there's water that can be cleaner than others. I mean, like I said, and we can move on to our last segment, which is going to be off topic. Um, uh, lost my train of thought because I'm changing this thing, but depending on sort of what the water's been through, it could be more or less better for you. Like, you don't want to drink distilled water all the time because you need the nutrients that are essential minerals inside of it, of course. You can, like, it's a wives' tale. Sorry, the Coca Cola is getting to me. It's a wives' tale that you will, like, get sick if you drink distilled water. It's still good for you because it's water, and water is the most important molecule in your body. But uh, I'm losing. Why am I on Reddit right now? Poke paid researchers. Um, but it won't kill you. Yeah, bottom line. And reclaimed water is, yeah, that's everywhere. But certain water, like for example, mine, we got a notice from the manager of the well that supplies the water to all the houses in my neighborhood that a recent infestation of, I think it was like E. coli or something. Some family member of E. coli was in our well and they killed it all.
Mm.
Or first they shut off the water for like 3 or 4 days, and then they said they killed it all, but for the next couple of days you might get uh, particles in your water.
Wow.
And they didn't really specify, but I knew that it was all the dead bacteria, gunk, and biofilm that had developed was coming out and clearing out. So I definitely didn't drink any tap water for those few days.
Oh,
Um,
that's pretty bad. When did that
yeah,
happen?
this was like recently, past 6 months. Forget
Well,
when. Um, yeah. Oh my gosh, soccer practice. We always had like a crap ton of refreshments
yeah,
provided by
at
all the
my
moms at my soccer practice.
exactly at baseball or soccer practice or games, the parents would always bring fucking bomb ass food after. Freaking people bring pizza or fucking sweet. I don't know, it's just bomb.
Yeah, but I can relate sort of, not really. TBH. Oh my gosh. Well, we're on the off topic now, Kevin. So
Yeah, so this is a part of the stream where we don't really have anything particular in the script that we want to talk about, but yeah, we are pretty much open to talking about anything interesting. Also, I think we were considering maybe playing a game or two of something potentially. I don't know.
yeah.
I thought that's at 182-year-old.
I wish. She's trapping, dude. Oh dang. That's her.
I actually think
Yeah,
that's I think.
yeah, I mean we can.
Sweet little
uh
old lady.
yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? Of course it doesn't have to be
Hmm.
a
I don't know.
specific topic, but we both have been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately.
Yeah. Do you have any games that you like, Taz? Anything in particular? Anything you'd like to see? I mean, maybe not when the podcast itself is going, but any other time during the week potentially. Like any games you think would be fun to watch us play. Always open to ideas.
Yeah, but
That's also tragic, Taz. I'm sorry you had to drink your saliva. That shit does not quench your thirst. I mean, ooh, what is that?
Oh, a stump remover.
Dump remover.
A racing game buff. Oh shit.
So I've personally never been like way into racing games other than like Mario Kart and like casual shit like that. But yeah, Chris definitely is. I'm pretty sure.
I'm huge into cars, dude. I am trying to get my controller.
Any particular racing game that you like, Taz?
It's not plugged up. It is plugged in. It's not turning on. There we go. Oh, this is the one that disconnects every 5 seconds. Kevin played the trumpet in high school.
I did. I used to play the trumpet. I played it from middle school up into senior year of high school. Drift
Oh shit.
rally.
I need to turn the volume down on this.
Nice. Do you use a controller? Do you have like a wheel and pedal? What's your setup over there? RX Drift. Never heard of Car X Drift Racing before.
Hmm. Yeah, I used to only play Gran Turismo, and then Forza got way better and available on PC. But yeah, I drive a WRX in real life, and I love that car. But yeah, Kevin's not really super into cars, but he loves his car, right? You love your car, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely do. It's a Ford Fiesta 2014.
There you go.
It's not much of a beast by any way you slice it, but hey.
But we both love to hoon. I think that's one thing that we're both or in particular you, Kevin, you're very familiar with is hooning.
10 block, you mean?
Yeah, dude. Are you
Yeah,
a hoonigan?
I mean, I don't know too much about his brand overall, but I mean, I have looked at some of his content on YouTube, and it's pretty impressive what they do with, pretty standard cars.
Yeah.
Especially like
Gymkhana.
currently out of commission right now due to using it too much.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah,
Mm.
I have one for flight sims. I also like doing a lot of flight sims or space sims, so I play Elite Dangerous and War Thunder a lot. So I got the full on steering and thrust, and I have a mount for my Elite gaming chair that mounts onto it, so I can like lean back and feel like I'm in a cockpit. It's pretty cool. But
Welcome back,
yeah, I
Katrina.
haven't done steering wheel in a long time. That would be really fun. But I've gotten really used to controller for some reason.
Hoonigan for fucking life, he says. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you need. What are all my cards? Oh no, these are all cards. Where's my cards? Garage. Go.
Pretty dope.
Let me filter by
Yeah, even
my.
even when
Go
we
ahead.
sometimes drive in other games like GTA or like Call of Duty or anything like that, if we do some like crazy shit where we're going over like crazy obstacles or around crazy turns, we'll say we're hooning, but obviously nothing like the actual hoonigan group does, but you know.
Yeah. Why is it only Volvo? The fuck? Oh, there you go. That's why. Reset. A B C D. But yeah, definitely into drifting too. RX cross-platform, decent arcadey. Yeah, I haven't played a racing game in forever. This was the last one I think I got was Horizon 4, but I played the shit out of Horizon 3, the Australian one. I barely played this one, but it's the same game. I just added a bunch of stuff. So I think I have it set to manual clutch. I do. But this would be. Whoops, I forgot to ever rewind. God damn it. Okay, how do I change view? Not triangle. This. There we go. But yeah, I also love the drift too. And I don't know. I remember. Oh gosh, did I ever tell you? As I go over, did I ever tell you, Kevin, the time I was taking this girl in college, and the redhead, if I may, Kevin, and I was taking her back to her car from the campus parking lot, and when I dropped her off, she's like, "Oh, my car's over there." This is like the first time I like studied or hung out with her, and I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, and then I saw her car, and I was like, "Okay, let me go ahead and whip my CV in the parking lot because it was a dirt parking lot." And so I did. Oh, I'm definitely not gonna make that. Luckily, the walls are made out of cardboard.
What the fuck?
But I did a J turn in the dirt and like pulled up right next to her car. Better than I can do in this game, honestly. But
Wow.
that was my best achievement because I totally could have just ran right into her car, and that would have been the worst first time experience.
Was she impressed?
Yeah, she was. She was like, "Wow, I can't believe you actually did that," because it was just straight up. It was straight up the best maneuver I've done. I've drifted before on accident too. Okay, so you know on East Cliff, there's like this road that goes behind our school. What is the drift zone? I totally fucked it up. And there's like that right turn that goes off a cliff if you don't turn at that point. So, like, let's say, let me find a spot that's like that in this. One time I was really angry, you know, I don't do this anymore, but I was just really angry and I was just driving really hard down that road, and we'll just say it's this drift path.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
And I definitely was going too fast for the turn, and I started drifting, and there was a car in the oncoming lane, and I was drifting into the oncoming lane, but luckily my car is my lifeline and it's never done me dirty, and I was able to maintain traction. It sucks because this is in the UK, so the roads are backwards for me, but essentially I hit the turn and I was like, oh shit, there's a car in the oncoming lane, and I had to not swerve, but you know, if you're a pro driver, you call it maneuvering.
Well, you know, I'm glad that
I didn't die.
Have a different outcome. That would have been a horrible thing to hear. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, yeah. Let me get a Fiesta, Kevin. You know what the wonderful thing about this game is? I have 6 million credits because you get money like a mofo.
There you go.
Let me go to the festival site real quick. I'm gonna buy a Fiesta and make it to your liking, Kevin.
Yeah.
All right, let's sort. Oh no, it's already sorted by manufacturer. And then of course, you know, in next episodes I'll try to do it something that's of course we're on the top of cars, so I wanted to show this. But oh, the Fiesta RS, dude. Is that the only Fiesta available? Or the Raw Letterman? There we go. Well, we're going with it. Alright. Colors. Do you want a vinyl? Or I mean, yeah, like an art vinyl over it, or do you want just the base color and pimp it out manually?
I don't know. What do you think would look better?
Dude, I'm gonna go with the manufacturer white. 500k. Okay, there you go. Your car definitely didn't cost that much.
Not even close to it.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into CarX or GT Sport. I'm what I really want is one that's expansive. I like Forza because it has like 1,000 cars in it, or like 500 cars in it. Or ones that have the most current cars, like if a new Ferrari comes out or something like that. Or I'm really into rally too, but especially like when they have the most modern cars as well. But upgrades and tuning. All right, let's customize upgrade. Here we go. So first things first, can I take off the arrow package? No, I guess not. Let me, one second. I bought this without even thinking. Nope. Whatever. There you go. Do you wish your car looked like this, Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Definitely not your car that I got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do it again. Sorry. What you eating? Some Doritos.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
True gamer move.
True gamer move. So they don't have a lower Fiesta than that. They have the Fiesta XR2, the 81 Fiesta. Oh, there they go. 2014. This is the ST though. Kevin Johnson White. Oh gosh, there you go.
There's my car. That is my car. It's 2014 as well, so. Oh no, I don't have an ST. I just have an SE.
I know. The ST is the highest tier you can, unless they made an RS. I think they made a Fiesta RS, but all right, now we can do this. Do you want the canards? Increases everything except speed because it weighs you down. Or the wing. Do you want the wing? Both? Actually, you're not super decisive on it, so I'm just gonna go with stock KJ.
Okay, yeah,
Put
just
in
go with
a rally turbo.
classic.
You know what? We're gonna go ultimate classic. The only thing we'll change on it is, of course, give you some race wheels. Increase the width. And okay, what kind of rims you want? You want the sporty, the multi-piece, or the specialized?
What specialized got in it?
You got the American Racing. Asante, dude. Asante. You want to be like Midnight Club rocking Asantes, dude?
Kind of like those ones.
Yeah, no, I've heard of 1552. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore that. You want to put on the Asantes, Kevin?
Sure,
Which
do
ones?
Kind of like. I think I like that one.
The triangle.
Sure.
The pulse bomb.
Sure, do it.
There you go. Weighs your car down. All right. You want the 19s? The 18s.
What do you think?
I mean, if you want to be a baller in your
I think the big
brand new pre-owned Fiesta, you got to be rocking the 19 so you know what's business.
He really wants
lower
us
the
to use
profile of the timer.
52s.
I got Inkies, so that's not a good brand, but it's what I got. But okay, for the width, gives you what a better handling.
Can you do the thing where you can like tilt the tires? Yeah.
Oh, camber? Yeah, I'll do that later too. We're gonna make this a stance works, dude.
Make it into some JDM type Ford shit.
Right. We'll make it rear wheel drive. So you can drift hella hard. Okay, drivetrain. This is all the boring stuff. I'm just gonna put in the race clutch, race transmission, carbon fiber driveline, differential, brakes. Give you those good brakes. Race roll bars or
you can put some roll bars.
Probably won't do the cage though. Weight reduction should be fine. Alrighty. Give you the racing intake, all the fuel injectors, ignition. Give you that nice that Cobb exhaust. Camshaft. I'll do the camshaft just because it sounds hella JDM for you.
There you go.
Displacement. I don't like changing the displacement because I like keeping it the stock displacement, which is a 1.6 liter inline four. But we're gonna up that to the 2 liter, the Mustang 2 liter, dude, the Eco Boost. Put a rate. Do you want to? Yeah, of course you want to race turbo. You want JDM and a big intercooler. Race oil. Why does the oil drop all the stats though? It adds power. Do you want power or?
It needs to be powerful.
It's already pretty powerful, I think.
Okay, you can take some down.
Let's see. Alright. Yeah, you're going up to 414 horsepower. You can pull 1.8 lateral G's and you've shaved 500 pounds.
That's a lot.
Yeah, my Twitter is it's at UngoCast. I'll fix the description. I know it's in my one of my abouts, but I have 2 of them on my page, which is annoying, but whatever. Let's see. Upgrades and tuning. Okay, and then from here, let's do tuning. So we're gonna make the tire pressure nice. We'll keep it at 30. Gearing. I'm just gonna mess with the gearing ratio. So 4.50 to 60. Still 4.5. What if I increase the final drive? 4.5. Okay. Top speed. Okay, so I do need to keep an eye on the top speed. 188. 188. Put it back to the stock. 187. Okay, 3.55. That's good enough for now. Camber, there you go. There you go. Toe in. Everything else. Stiff ass springs. Alright. Lowest to the ground as possible. And that should be good.
This thing's gonna look stupid.
Alright. I hope I did the camber right. No, I definitely did it backwards. God damn it.
Wheels facing the wrong way.
Yeah, they're knock-kneed.
Negative camber.
Get that negative camber, dude. Alrighty.
Are there negatives to significantly changing the camber?
Yes, it makes your car perform way worse. Well, depends, of course. But essentially you have less traction because less of your tire is making direct contact with the rim to the floor of the road.
True.
So it's less contact. But let's go ahead and give you a nice carbon fiber hood. You want the matte or the polished?
Go polished.
Yeah, give you some polished side mirrors, tint, murdered out.
This is what my car looked like. It'd be pretty weird.
Yeah. It would be pretty weird if that's what you drove.
Chaz has got the ways to build sexy cars.
Yeah, positive camber. I don't know. I've never seen a car with positive camber. I just didn't know which one was which. I didn't really think of that. Alright, here you go. And there's this guy over here drifting. I'm gonna challenge this guy. Oh god, this thing can't. Oh god! This thing is not meant to be driven for any purpose in the rain.
Oh my god. That is stupid. That was just goofy.
Oh man, oh god, this guy's gonna Alright. Initial D!
Can you just race random people that are in the world?
Yeah, you can, but I don't think I'm gonna win a race in this thing. Oh gosh, you got
Pretty
side deck.
zippy. Oh
I
shit.
mean, it's zippy, but I don't think I can run this level of camber. I'm not experienced. I've only done it on the CD. Now, how do I honk?
The car is just fucked.
You've just challenged a driver.
Yeah, let's do
to a
this. Get the
head-to-head.
stick. God dang it. Oh, mine's gonna lose. Oh, let's go. Oh, I can't even go straight. No, stop. Okay. All right.
Looks so bad.
I can drift other cars, but once the camera gets this bad, I lose it. Nope. I can't counter steer for shit in this car either. Oh my god.
Yeah, did you put it into rear wheel drive?
Yeah. Oh god, I can't even turn. Okay, this is a nightmare.
You can
I
take
need to
it.
get back in my CV.
Turn right.
You can do what you want, honestly.
No, I know. I was just doing this to make it look stupid. Oh god. There we go. Oh, he made it. Swelst
weak
is like,
balls.
who was this guy? Alright, well, let's enter photo mode now. Take a picture to commemorate this lovely... Oh, this is not photo mode, this is drone mode. God damn it. How do I do photo mode? Jesus. I don't even know. Cars? I'm a level 1 photographer. Oh.
You can get Lego cars.
Yeah, you can.
That's weird.
This is so creative computing. How do I take a picture? There you go. Well, nope. Okay. Screw this game. I'm over it. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Sorry, Kevin. You had to join in on your car getting turned into this
It's
monstrosity, and then
I lived after my car was in an accident that made it look like that. You know, I would.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
No, not yet. Definitely fishtailed coming off of a.
Yeah. No, it wasn't front wheel drive. I changed it to rear wheel, but that thing is horrible. But I'm glad you stuck with us, Taz. It's always good to have people coming back to our stream, or I guess my channel stream. Of course, follow. I don't know when you plan on streaming next. It's pretty much the same schedule as me, which is not very consistent. But if you ever want to watch gameplay of things like Death Stranding or Snow Runners or any of those kind of like
Sort of just like more cult games to an extent, maybe. You know,
yeah.
I like to play interesting stuff.
Yeah, maybe for next week we can try beating some Cuphead for the off topic.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Still haven't beaten that game in its entirety yet, but we're almost there. Over the course of since it's come out because of various reasons.
Yeah.
But that's been it for today. We hope you all enjoyed listening to us talk about some things of the unknown. I hope your freaks were minded, your minds were freaked, and of course, please follow KevJohn96. That's his new name. He was formerly known as Biggie Boy 1. He is my current co-host of the Burning Bush podcast, a podcast in which we talk about things of various backgrounds and ideas and topics, and always inevitably, burning bush. Yeah, you know, and that's why our thoughts are so profound. No, it's because I'm crazy. I've been called a sociopath. But yeah, we love the support, and I'm glad that you stuck with us, and I hope you'll tune in next week. Hopefully, our topics next week might have nothing to do with unknown organizations or psychological effects. It might have to do with I don't know. What is it going to be, Kevin?
Whether water is wet.
All right. Well, is water wet?
Questions like that.
Week. There you go.
Thanks for tuning in to us.